Do you ever wish you could be spending more of your time doing work that you really enjoy doing, like designing, writing, or illustrating, but you feel too overwhelmed with the idea of actually making it happen? It's not easy when your schedule is packed with school or work or basic adult responsibilities. We all have to do what needs done to get by, but does that mean that you should put aside your desire to start freelancing and to make some extra money on the side, or to kickstart your creative business? Absolutely not. Although it might seem impossible to find the time to make your passion your job, it's 100% doable, and it just starts with you committing and figuring out the best way to carve out the time to make it happen. In this video, I'm going to share with you some amazing techniques and tips that I have learned over the years that will help you not only make the time to create, but also transition your time to the point to where you can make your creativity a thriving career. So are you ready to commit to your passions and start earning some income from it? Roll the intro and let's get into it. There's no doubt that money is what you need to put a roof over your head and food on the table. But what if you could be making money doing something that you enjoy and that might not even feel like work some days? That's the dream, right? I was fortunate enough to discover my passion for graphic design early on while in high school. Since then, graphic design is all I've wanted to do. When I wasn't in art class, I'd be drawing in the margins of my homework. And when I was at home, I was teaching myself how to design or watching Lord of the Rings: The Extended Edition, because that's the only way to do it. But what I'm saying is that every decision I made was to lead me towards a career in graphic design. Even if I didn't quite know what that entailed, all I knew is that I wanted to do things that I truly enjoyed and make money from it. So as soon as I discovered that I could use my skills in graphic design to make money working for clients, I poured every single moment into it. Because of this, I accidentally discovered what it was to be a freelance graphic designer. However, that's not the case for everyone. I don't know what your current job or situation in life is, but regardless, there's always a way that you can carve out the time to pursue your passions and goals. In order to make time to do anything, you have to make sacrifices. We all make sacrifices with our time in both positive and negative ways. You might sacrifice your time to be there for someone you care about, which is good. Or maybe you're like me, who often will sacrifice sleep to squeeze in a few extra hours of the day, which is bad. I love watching YouTube a little bit too long over my lunch break, or staying up to watch a movie, play a game, or just procrastinating going to bed scrolling through TikTok. But at the end of the day, no one's going to remember me from consuming content. The goal is to realize what you might be spending too much of your time on and putting that into perspective on what would be more important.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
It's important to find a healthy balance between making time to relax and to do things that you enjoy, but to also carve out that time to dedicate it to your own personal growth. All it takes is spending 20 to 30 minutes a day devoted to a passion project, which could lead to a life doing what you love. That sounds so much easier said than done, but it is really that simple. All you have to do is take action. And if you're working another job or going to school, it can be really hard to come home only to do more work. But if this is something you actually truly want to do and spend your time doing, you'll make the time for it. Which actually brings me to working a day job. Chances are you currently have some sort of job that's paying your bills, or maybe you're currently in school. You might think that this is sort of the biggest setback to starting a freelance career, but it's actually the first step that I recommend doing. Your day job is going to be the foundation to getting started on your own. So if you don't have a day job, then you should find one, because you can expect not to earn a lot of money while you're starting out. Your day job doesn't have to be in the same field of work that you want to freelance in either, and I'd actually recommend against it so that you don't come home and feel burnt out doing the same thing. You should feel excited to get home and to work on this side project and to build this freelance career. The goal with your day job is to let it cover all the bills while you work on these sort of passion projects on the side. Work your day job, but don't let it take up too much of your life. Do what's needed, then when you're off the clock, you shift your focus. Your day job is just that, a day job. Even if at first you don't spend as much time on your freelancing or side project as much as your day job, make it count more so it feels like it's the number one thing in your life. Because remember, your life is your priority, not your day job. So naturally, as you continue to grow your freelancing or side projects, it'll require more and more of your time to truly get off the ground. So as it grows, you'll want to slowly transition your time from your day job to eventually to a point to where you might even consider taking your side stuff part-time and then full-time. Through 2 years in college, I was working a part-time job in the print department of an office supply store. Along school and my day job, I was also freelancing. So client work was sparse at the time, so majority of my freelancing was spent on personal projects, growing my design skills, building a portfolio. Right around graduation was when my freelancing actually started to take off. I wasn't making a livable income yet, but I had work and it was growing. I was getting to a point where all I could think about during class or at my day job was the amount of work waiting for me at home. And the worst feeling was waking up and cranking out all this work that I loved, only to have to shut it down, put on a black polo and khakis, and then go into work for the rest of the day. It was hard finding motivation to work after getting home from a day job, but I knew which work I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and it wasn't slaving over a Xerox machine printing other people's documents. I made it clear with my boss months ahead of time that I was starting a career in graphic design. So even though I was a great worker, I made sure to let them know that I was no longer going to be taking on extra hours. After putting more and more time in my freelancing, I continued to decrease my hours at my day job. When I graduated, I had enough freelance projects to keep me afloat, and if I wanted to take a risk, now was that chance. I slowly made the transition to working more on my freelancing to the point where I put my 2 weeks notice in. Again, this was years in making, a transition that happened over the span of months. This didn't happen overnight. I'm not gonna lie, I was very scared by this whole situation. So here I was, fresh out of college, no experience in running a business, trying to make a name for myself. However, I am where I am today because I made those sacrifices and took the risk to try to work for myself. So if you're on the fence or craving motivation to start the thing that you've always wanted to do, I say now's the chance to make it happen. Make that time for yourself to bring your ideas to life because it's worth it and it can lead to amazing opportunities. Hopefully this video was able to fire you up, and if so, I'd love to know what you're wanting to devote more of your time to in the comments below. Thanks for watching, leave a like. Now, let's get back to work.